Hello George, my name is Philip Rouleau with Rultract, and I want to go over real quick the equipment that we're shipping in for Friday's case. This equipment has a little bit of a different configuration than what your surgeon was using at Nemours. Functions completely the same, just sets up a little bit different. So I'm going to go over that setup real quick. If you have any questions, you can call or email me. All right, let's get started. Okay, first off, at Nemours, they have what's considered a post clamp configuration. You can see here that this post and clamp are one piece. What we're going to be sending you for the NUS set has a separate clamp and bottom post. So the two will have to be put together. Reason being is that this is actually designed to provide more space for the assistant during the NUS procedure. First, you are going to attach the clamp to the bed rail. To do so, you turn the knob counterclockwise all the way until it stops, making sure the jaws are completely open. You can squeeze them in order to make sure that they move freely and are all the way opened. Once they are all the way open, you go ahead and attach it to the bed rail. You want to feel for a space that's either on a bolt or between the bolts, and I'll explain that quickly. You go ahead and place the clamp onto the bed rail, squeeze it closed, hold it closed, and tighten the knob. Now when I say look for a space that's either over a bolt or between a bolt, you can see here that in this case we are directly over a bolt with the cutout in the jaws designed to go completely around that bolt. Here I am obviously next to a bolt. What you don't want to do is have your jaw line actually hit the bolt, because then the clamp will not attach securely to the bed rail. So you want to be sure that you're either next to the bolt or completely around a bolt. You go ahead and set the bottom post in next, and again you want to be sure that this bend goes out toward the head of the table. So you put it in like this and make sure the bend is going toward the head of the table. Again, the reason is that as the assistant's here working with the surgeon, this provides extra space. And if you put it in like this, it will actually be in the way. If you put it in like this, it's also in the way when you try to flip the NUS bars. So it's very important that it goes in like this. Next, you're going to take your top post, and with the same idea in mind, you set it onto the bottom post, make sure that it seats properly, and again you want to make sure that this bend is going toward the head of the table. So once again, as I'm working here, I've provided myself with more workspace. Next, you'll want to put the rotating extender bar on. From what I understand, it's a smaller patient, and in that case you'll want to put the extender bar on with the rotating knob on the bottom so you're actually closer to the patient's chest. If we put it on this way, it might be too high. You might not be able to reach the patient's chest. So we put it on what we refer to as inverted. Go ahead and slide that on. Make sure that it locks into one of the holes or detents on the post. And then you can rotate it out directly over the center of the patient's sternum and lock it into place. Now from there, everything else is going to be the same for the surgeon. So next, we're going to put the ratchet assembly on, and this is the same as the surgeon used at Nemours. You want to put the spool over the patient's chest with the crank handle going out over the patient's head. Go ahead and slide that into position right over the center of the patient's sternum. Make sure that it tightens down into a detent. And now the equipment is ready to use. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you have any questions, please email or call me. Good luck with the case.